set it up wrong and you can't go back and fix it after the fact. Major flaw. Why isn't this turning? It should be. There we go. Major flaw in the YouTube app, but here we are. I am still out here at my camp spot here in Oregon, at this beautiful lake. Check that out. I know that the camera's a bit crooked, and that's because I'm using my gimbal right now to stabilize everything. I can't actually find the attachment for my tripod to attach my phone. I don't know where I put it, and I've been going through a lot of stuff lately. So everything's kind of scattered around and unorganized. So I've been trying. Oh wait, did I just find it? I just found it. Alright, so I can set up my other tripod. Let me go ahead and catch up on some comments. Looks like Heath and Bobby are here. What's going on with me? I'm still here, amen. I'm glad you're still with us, man. Heard about your bad news from the last live stream, so yeah, glad you're still with us. Let me grab my tripod real quick and set all of this up on the good tripod. Currently the GoPro's attached to it. Mischief is in the house. No shit, not for the faint of heart. Triggers. There might be this might be a trigger warning type of live stream today, because I don't really get real with y'all very often, do I? Let me get this set up and we'll get started. But mainly, like, my channel, I don't really get into my combat experience very much. And ooh, there we go. I don't really get into my combat experience very much. I don't really talk about my service all that often. Primarily because I'm, it's a nomading channel. Maybe a bit of Slab City channel. But it's definitely not a, woe is me, I have mental health problems. Bold decision. What's a bold decision? What is? But I do have PTSD. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. By the end of this live stream, I'm also going to be cooking because I haven't eaten yet. What's up, Zag? What are you doing? But while we're waiting for people to show up, since I started the live stream a little bit early, I'm going to get my camera set up on the right. Oh shit, this might not work. I don't know how to make this work because, like, I'll have to... And I can't do the... It's like this. Orientation is like this, and I can't fix that after the fact. I could... Yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do. What's this button? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Anyways. Tent is huge. Yes, this is a big tent. I have my whole camp set up in this. I'm not going to be able to use this as I expected because it's vertical, not horizontal. And yeah, I set this live stream up a little stoned, but nevertheless, I'm going to take you into my van and show you the setup for right now. Let me get this fixed because this is a mess. There we go. Let me go into the van and show you the setup that I've got while we're waiting on some people to show up. Do I putt from the rough? I don't golf. Dig the hat. Yeah, you like that? You like the hat? I do dig the hat too. Right now my bed is a little bit of a mess. It's a bit of a disaster because I had everything piled up using it as a backrest. And I don't really have storage set up in the van yet, do I? But I am starting. But currently I'm just kind of living in a... Oh no, I dropped y'all. Womp womp womp. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. Bear with me. Oh man. What a shit show. I need to find a stable spot to put this. How is that? Does that work? That works. You're on my fridge right now, so that's cool. Yeah, I don't have a lot of storage in here yet. It's kind of like I said, living in a pile of stuff, but I'm trying to make it work. This build is slow going because I'm poor. I'm you know, basically out of money right now. I've got about a quarter tank of gas and a couple of meals left. Thankfully, one of you, Annie, sent me some pancake mix from my Amazon wish list, which is pretty cool because it's just add water. And it's been pretty useful because if I got water, I got food. And she sent me two of these. I got one left. The other one, which one's this? Stroganoff. The other one was like spaghetti, and it was decent. It was all right. Let's see. Where am I? I am in Oregon right now. All van life people know about living in a pile of stuff. Hello, Alicia. Everyone say hi to Alicia. I'm actually about to be going to visit Alicia here in like a week or so. To go do some work out on the East Coast. But yes, I am living in a pile of stuff. Here in a second, I will show you the rest of my pile of stuff. But yeah, this live stream, I wanted to talk about PTSD. I want to talk about PTSD and traveling and why it is that I picked going traveling as opposed to what a lot of other people do. Intellectual curiosity. Hi, Alicia. Yep, that's Alicia. That's my friend accidentally, Alicia. Solar in the van now. Get DC to DC hooked up. I have not gotten the DC to DC hooked up. That'll hopefully be happening this weekend. I did a bunch of research exactly how to hook that thing up. Got a little bit confused about it during that research and then kind of figured out what they were trying to say. So hopefully be getting that hooked up pretty soon. Currently, though, I do have solar hooked up. I'll show you that right now. Let me see how good my rear camera is. It's a bit... So there's my charge controller right there. My inverter's right there on the side. My solar comes through the window. I've got it pinned up here with this clamp right now. But I hook it into the system that way. Goes into the charge controller. I did have a splitter here, hoping that it would go and charge my solar generator battery thing. But for some reason, there's not... the juice isn't coming through there, so I'm gonna have to just change all of that and wire it up in a different way. Honestly, the batteries are under there in the stone go seating. You can kind of see the hole where they're coming out of. And then I have this 12 volt. You can't see it with all this crap in the way. Let me I've got this 12 volt outlet I wired up right here. Currently it's been cloudy today. 12.5 is what that's reading, and that's running my fridge, only the fridge right now. I have been charging the solar batteries up, but this one just died today. But I've got another one behind there that my TV is hooked up to. Primarily running most of my electronics off of that and leaving the solar just for the fridge. But this has been running for about 3 or 4 days. Don't mind Zag's dog food right there. It's been running for about 3 or 4 days, that fridge has, on just the power that was already in the batteries out of storage. But this whole shelving situation, if I'm being honest with you, I am not a giant fan of. I feel like I could do this better. I feel like I could make it look better. So that's what I'm going to do sometime soon, hopefully when I get the money. But let's see. Oh, okay, Chris, hard pass. What is a species of woods in your forest? It looks good. This is pine forest. Hey, thanks for that donation, dude. Whoever that was. Intellectual curiosity. I appreciate that. I really appreciate all the donations, you guys. Just so you know, I won't be able to get... I'm very grateful for that donation. I won't be able to get it until next month. and then YouTube takes 30% for themselves, which I don't hate on, because they do provide the platform. But if you want to help me today to be able to get some food and stuff, my Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal are your best options. Ignition wire ground to frame on DC to DC confused me too. The ignition wire thing confused me. But I did a little research. I think I know how I'm gonna do it, and I've got everything. I just need to actually buckle down and do it, to be honest with you. So some quick updates in my life. I applied for food stamps. We'll see how that goes. I've been waiting for like a week now. I had to give them my income proof and all that. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully I can get some food stamps, because this is killing me out here. First of all, this stream is about PTSD, and I know a lot of people out there have PTSD, specifically like from all sorts of stuff. And what causes PTSD is kind of relative, right? Depending on who it is that experiences that trauma. For some people, maybe it's not trauma. For some people, maybe it is. But for me, mine's combat related. For other, it might be like sex abuse. It might be a car accident. Could be, pretty much any traumatic experience. And then there's CPTSD, which is complex PTSD, and that's when it's like several different experiences. Mine is primarily combat related. Not too many people on here ask about you guys crashed? Oh no, I'm still here. Can everyone hear me? All right, are we all good? I can see I'm losing people. Do I need to like move the camera to a different spot? Would that help? How's that? I'm good. Okay, thanks guys. So you guys don't really ask about my military experience very often, which I kind of appreciate, because I am more than my military experience. Oh, god damn it. This is not the best of situations for streaming right now. We're trying to make this work, but this isn't exactly stable. We're making it work, guys. We're making it work. Maybe if I open the door, I could keep you here and keep you stable, and then also get enough signal. I wonder if the door would help. You'll PayPal the money. That would be sick, dude. Actually, anybody who wants to send donations, that would be really, really helpful right now. I'm running low on money, food, gas, everything. A lot of the solar stuff was donated, but I did have to purchase like wires and fuses and breakers and stuff, which took a lot of my money. Thankfully, I'm in the land of cheaper weed, because my weed bill wasn't that expensive this month, but I am pretty much out of that too. I only got a couple more. I can't get back to the page with the links, so I'll do it after the live stream is over. Yeah, pretty sure my PayPal ad is at Zig420. Wish my admins were in here pushing my links, but if anyone wants to apply to be an admin, go to my email. It's in the description of my channel, and let me know that you want to be an admin, and we could chat about it. That'd be pretty cool. I could use some more. I mean, Dave is great, but he's not always here. He's got a life going on. Anyways, so PTSD can happen to anyone. It's not necessarily exclusive for combat veterans, right? Like, it does seem like that's when it's most talked about, though, and that's what I'm going to be talking about, since that's my only experience with it. Like I said earlier, you guys have never really asked about my military experience, and in a lot of ways I appreciate that, because it's not always something I want to talk about. But I decided to just pick today and to talk about it. I enlisted as an 11 Bravo. I was infantry, and It wasn't exactly what I wanted to do with my military career. I wanted to go into computers, but I couldn't get a security clearance. That's a story all in itself. Ended up getting the security clearance later. So I could have gotten the security clearance. They just didn't try. But I ended up in the infantry. And prior to our deployment, I was in a unit, Bravo Company was the name of the unit. We'll just call it Bravo Company. And a lot of Bravo companies in the Army. This is just my Bravo Company. And Bravo was a very, very tight unit. I spent a lot of years in Bravo Company training, and that group of men and we were all real close. It was a real tight-knit unit. But come time for the battalion to deploy, they didn't bring Bravo Company on the deployment. They brought every other company except us for political reasons. We had to get shotgunned out to the rest of the battalion, so I ended up in another unit, getting assigned with some guys I didn't know. A lot of them were new. A lot of them were into this unit. They didn't know each other. None of us did. When we started training together in the vehicle that I was on, my gunner, he was a surgeon. That dude was really good on the gun. And we got battalion top gun. We shot better than everyone in the battalion during gunnery. So they made us a rabbit truck. And what that means is they put a ton of technology on our truck to defeat IEDs. And our primary mission was convoy escort, right? So my job was to drive convoys all over the country, escorting vehicles out. And I was driving the lead vehicle in the convoy. I was the very front. And they had a lot of technology on our truck to defeat these IEDs. And one of them was a mine roller. And so the mine roller's job was to basically drive over everything that looked like a bomb. All of our training, we didn't train to have mine rollers on our trucks. We trained to not have mine rollers on our trucks. So all of our training, it was like, that looks like an IED. Avoid it. And it was like, yeah, boss, I got that. I can avoid an IED. I know how to do that. Definitely want to do that. And then they were like, hey, you guys did so well. We're going to make you a mine roller truck. We called it a rabbit truck. And my first mission outside the wire, this wasn't explained to me. My first mission outside the wire, it was, hey, that looks like an IED. Drive over it. And I remember my sergeant saying that to me, and I was like, excuse me? And he's like, what do you think the mine rollers are for? And I'm like, are you joking? And he's like, no. So I started driving over everything that looked like a bomb. And that's what I did for the entirety of my deployment. That's not true. I did some other stuff too. We did quick response force. So QRF, it's basically like the first responders. When everybody, if you need, let me finish this. If you needed like backup or ammo or to get a vehicle recovered, like if you needed like a vehicle broke down, we need to have it recovered or got blown up and damaged, can't drive no more, it's deadlined. They would call us QRF and we would go out there and we'd resupply ammo, we'd resupply men if there was a firefight, and recover vehicles and stuff like that. So that was pretty much my deployment. And I drove all over northern Iraq, basically just driving over everything that looked like a bomb, and sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. And not to mention, for like the first 3 months, they didn't attack us at all, except for mortars. And for the entire deployment, we would just get mortared every single day. The base would just take mortars every single day. I was there in 2010, 2011. So if you remember, we pulled out of Iraq at the end of 2011. Like, I left in September of 2011. All of our troops were supposedly out in December of 2011. So 2 months before I left. And then a couple of months later, ISIS just took over that whole area that I was in. They just took it over. I had friends tell me boot camp was tough at first. Yeah, I mean, boot camp is pretty hard. They just basically stress you out as much as you can to see if you'll quit. Because if you'll quit at basic training, the idea is if you'll quit when things are stressful, you'll definitely quit in combat, and that's not okay. But my biggest issue when coming home from overseas was driving. That was like my biggest issue. And, I kind of like, at first it was fine. Like, it was real stressful to drive in the States. But my PTSD, like, I didn't really think I had PTSD. It was like, that's just for people who couldn't handle it. And clearly I could handle it. It was something that, like, I made it, right? Like, I was handling it and I made it home and I did my job. So I didn't break. Some guys broke. They had to go home early, but I didn't. But it took, like, I just hit the ground running, man. It was hard charging. And I guess that's not exactly true. I did lose a lot while I was deployed, right? So when I left on my deployment, I was married and I was raising a family and my daughter. Um, and when I came home to a big 3 bedroom empty house, and my ex wife had just cheated on me and moved out with her new boyfriend, who later, by the way, got married on our anniversary to this guy. But that's another story. So I came home and I was alone. So I just basically drank quite a bit for the first couple of years. I was just kind of drunk, but I didn't really feel like I had a problem. Um, the symptoms of PTSD didn't really hit me until after I had sobered up and I got a job and I worked for the state of Oregon as a employee representative for veterans. I was a vet rep, and that's when my symptoms started hitting me. And the major symptom that I first struggled with the most, I think, was was sleeping. Like, I couldn't sleep through the night. I was having nightmares all the time. And it got to the point where I was just afraid to fall asleep. And that's why I would drink. And I would drink to the point where, like, I would just pass out, you know. But when I kind of stopped drinking and started smoking pot, it was still kind of a problem because I wasn't smoking a whole bunch. It was just like one hit, 2 hits here and there. But I wasn't drinking as much. That was primarily why I started, was to quit drinking. Um, but sleeping was a big issue for me, and it still kind of is sometimes. Sometimes I really struggle with sleeping. And then eventually, I think that, I don't know what it was, but I think now my biggest symptom with my PTSD is, like, I get real frustrated really easily. And that's, like, my body reacts unreasonable sometimes to stress, like really unreasonable, where my adrenaline just goes up over the dumbest stuff. And then my brain and my whole body is reacting like I'm in combat, like I'm still in that stressful situation. And the only thing that really pulls me out of that is a good barbiturate, which I'm not a fan of. I don't have any Xanax. Sometimes I wish I did, but that seems to be the only thing that really, like, seems to help in those situations. Driving was also a big issue because most of my job over there was driving, and um, our speed limit overseas was 40 miles an hour. We weren't allowed to drive our trucks over 40 miles an hour unless it was like exigent circumstances. Um, and when I got home, the speed limit, 55, 65 miles an hour was like hauling ass. It was like terrifying. Plus, I wasn't used to traffic. I wasn't used to stop signs. I wasn't used to stoplights. We didn't stop at any of those things. We drove where the hell we wanted to. We are an army. We didn't stop for your traffic lights. We just went where the fuck. And everyone got out of our way. Nobody got near us on the road. If people got near us on the road, we would give them warnings that if they got closer, then we would shoot them. And they knew that by the time I got there, where they knew that. So they kind of stayed away from us. Sometimes people would test our boundaries. But for the most part, they left us alone. So when I came home and people are like right on your bumper and you're traveling fast down the road, that even today, like, driving is my zen, right? It's my peaceful. I like driving a lot. It helps me meditate. It's kind of my meditation. But I still get claustrophobic and a little stressed out. Um, and another common one that I still get adrenaline rushes from it, but I don't swerve anymore. Um, is if there's like garbage on the road or like a dead animal on the road, because they would put bombs in dead animals and garbage, stuff like that. So, um, traveling and PTSD, right? For me, it's like movement. Movement is life, man. It's how you stay safe. It's how you stay alive. You can't stay in one spot in your box, and stay safe, because like it's easy to find you, it's easy to identify you, it's easy to scope you out and see all your entrances and exits. And if I keep switching things up, I'm in much more control of that environment. I'm grabbing a soda real quick. I'm in much more control of that environment when I'm traveling, because um, I decide where I'm gonna camp. Right now, I'm out in the woods, man. Like, I'm out in the forest. Can't nobody find me if they wanted to. Although you probably could if you really tried. But it would just be super easy for me to go somewhere else, for me to just move to another spot, and you'd have to go start your search all over again. um, Movement is life. They teach you to shoot, move, and communicate in the military. Shoot, move, and communicate. So if you could do those three things, that's the basics of every soldier. That's what they teach you in basic training: to shoot, to move, and to communicate. And of course, there's some other stuff on top of that, like, you know, first aid and battle drill 1 alpha and like other soldiering skills like that. But primarily, shoot, move, and communicate. Those are the three skills that every soldier needs to know how to do. And moving is part of that, so you're not in one spot for them to pinpoint you down. And I don't know how to stop, to be honest with you. The idea of getting like an apartment or something like that kind of stresses me out to stay for too long. But I'm also getting kind of sick and tired, not sick and tired, but I am getting tired of traveling and the struggle all the time. My health isn't getting no better either. A lot of you have been following me for a long time know that. So, this isn't a retirement plan, and I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I know I have to incorporate like my PTSD with my traveling experience with stability. If I could incorporate all those three things, that would be great, but I don't know if I'll be able to. So if at least I can have a peaceful, simple, and enriching life, I'll be happy. Those are the three things that I'm after. I've identified them: simple, peaceful, enriching. Those are the three things that I want my life to be. Um, I mean, not to get too personal, I'm gonna catch up on comments here in a minute, but does anyone else have PTSD? Like, I know not everyone's combat related, but some people very well might have PTSD. Like, what has been the things that have helped you the most with overcoming your symptoms? For me, traveling and cannabis have been the two best things for my symptoms. But it's no cure, man. I still struggle with sleeping. I promise you. Like, I don't know if I look tired right now, but I am pretty damn tired. I didn't sleep too well. I don't have nightmares as much as I used to. Let me put some shoes on. I don't have nightmares as much as I used to, but when I do, it stresses me out for quite a while. It could take me days to overcome it. Let's see. Alicia says, I'm a mess. Yes, you are, hun. It just pulsates. I take Ativan for the similar reactions, adrenaline and body shakes. Yeah, I get trembly, for sure. I wouldn't say shaky, but maybe trembly. Like, just the adrenaline. It's just an adrenaline dump, you know? CPTSD from your childhood. Yeah, you guys, it's not like, it's unfortunately becoming maybe not common, but more so than it used to be, or maybe it's just being more identified and everyone's had it all along. You know, I've kind of wondered this, right? Like, what if PTSD is our natural state, right? Because we've created a really, really safe environment for ourselves. You know, we made these boxes, they're all climate controlled. We have food on delivery if you want, straight to your door. Um, Not a lot of trauma going on. If we were actually like still in the wild before, when we were hunters and gatherers, I bet there was some trauma happening, and you had to be on your toes for the world trying to kill you all the time. So I wonder if that, you know, is our natural state, to just have PTSD and be hyper vigilant. Like when I walk into a store, I'm looking for exits. You know, every person I meet, I have a plan to, like, I could seriously maim or kill you right now. Like, as soon as I meet them, I'm like, wow, you're big. I'd have to throat punch you real hard. Um, that's this kind of crazy shit that goes through my head. It's not normal. It's not natural. It shouldn't be happening. It's definitely not healthy. Um, but that's my symptoms, man. Like that protective mode is always on. So like, makes life stressful sometimes. Makes having a job stressful. Oh, oh. The wind just blew you all over. That was wild. I caught you though. Like the wind is blowing on the tent right now, so it's like it pushed you all over. But I am about to cook some food. I'm trying to figure out how to um, set y'all up so you're even flat and can see me. Which where I just had you obviously is not gonna freaking work. Maybe if I move this. I'm also dang near out of water right now, so I need to refill my water supplies. Um, that's another symptom I think of my PTSD that I struggle with is executive function. Just having the executive function to do the thing, whatever thing that is. Like sometimes I just ain't got it in me. Like whatever that thing is, it's just so overwhelming. It's everything I got sometimes to just oh, maybe, is this not gonna okay. Sometimes it's everything I have in me just to make food, which is what I'm gonna do next once if I can get this set up, dude. I'm trying to make it so y'all don't fall down, but you keep falling down. Um, hmm. How am I gonna do this? Does that work? Okay, that might work. That might work. I might have to move you a little farther away from the tent if the wind blows. Okay, all right. Now that I got that set up, let me figure out what I'm cooking. What am I gonna make? You know what I'm thinking? First of all, I don't have a whole bunch of options. Okay, I don't have a lot of options. But I do have this butternut mountain farm maple syrup. Boom. That was sent to me, Annie. If you're watching, we're gonna make something with this today. And let's see. So I am running honestly pretty low on food. I've been eating a lot of canned chicken right here. Canned chicken. This is the last little tube I've got. This won't last me very long, you guys. Food's expensive. And some rice. This is what I've been surviving off of. Those two things. But then I got this pancake mix sent to me, right? Pancakes and waffle mix. Just add water. And there was actually a time in my life where I lived off this pancake mix. Not that specific stuff, but the just add water one. I lived off of it for like 2 weeks. And I got so sick of pancakes, I didn't eat them again for a long time. But it is a pretty good staple, right? Like, you just need water, you can make some food. And I got some maple syrup. But you know what else I have? I'm gonna make with this. I got eggs and I got sausage. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go get into my refrigerator that's running on my solar and go get my food. So you know what I got here? So I got some sausage, and I got some cold cheese, and I got some eggs right here. So I think we're gonna have breakfast for dinner. And you know what? The primary reason that I'm doing this live stream right now is because I haven't eaten today. And I figured the live stream might give me the executive function to feed myself. Let's see. Ever put peanut butter? Is that what you're saying? PB2 in your pancakes? Yum. Chicken and rice and soy sauce. Yeah. Oh, snap. You're going to try that. What are you going to try? I know that feeling too. I've not eaten today because I can't be bothered. I'm too busy doing nothing. Dude, some days be like that, dude. Don't give yourself a break. Sometimes that's okay. That's what, I didn't do it all day. I do have some friends camped nearby. So it wasn't all day of doing nothing, but I do be having days like that where I'm just like, oh man, I have to go into town because I'm out of whatever water, and it just seems like too damn much until I'm just so parched. I'm like, okay, I really do need to get off my ass and be an adult and get water. Sometimes it just be like that. Nothing wrong with it. Um, it can be a problem. I can't say there's nothing wrong with it because it can become a problem, right? Can become too much. But sometimes just give yourself a break and do nothing. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something very unmanly right now. I'm gonna do it on live stream so everyone can see how like feminine I really truly am when I cook. Check this out. You guys ready for this? Right here, it's got the instructions. Isn't that cool? I'm gonna read the instructions before cooking. 1 cup of Bob's Red Mill home-style pancake and waffle mix, and then 2/3 cup of water. Somebody Google how many ounces is in 2/3 of a cup, and then come back to me, because um, all I got is this ounce measure. This isn't a cup. It doesn't measure by cups. It measures by ounces. Which it would be nice if I had a measuring cup that did cups. But this is just, yep, fluid ounces. Someone let me know how many fluid ounces is in 3/4 of a cup. Or even just 1 cup, and I'll do the math. 6.5, and hello. What's up, Carol? How you doing? 6.5. That's perfect, because this is, let's see, 7-ounce cup. So basically, just fill this thing up, and that's 3/4 of a cup. So I have to do one of these plus a little bit more of water. Oh, I'm spilling. Trying to do this with this flour. Oh, it's everywhere. I just got it all over myself. Oh, shit. I think more's getting on the ground than in here. Oh, alright. Well, okay. Oh, yeah, this is... Can't wait to make this. Boom. In the bowl. In the bowl. In the bowl. I got that all over myself. Oh, my God. Okay, well, you know, we're cooking. Now we're cooking with dynamite, but we're cooking. Alright. Water. So, thankfully, some of my friends that are camped nearby hooked me up with this gallon of water I'm about to show you. Once I can figure out, dude, these Ziplocs, they should make these easier. This is not okay. Like, this is, should be easier. Like, Ziplocs been around for a while. There we go. No way that blows up in my food container and just goes everywhere. That's never gonna happen. But now I gotta do it with water. What are you doing, girl? What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Load up. Load up. Somebody walking by with another dog. Zach had to put her away because she gets a little territorial sometimes. But boom. Gonna fill this up with water somehow. Here we go. I use PB powder in 2 in milk. Okay. I don't have any milk. I got just add water pancake mix. And I'm about to add the water. So that's 7 fluid ounces. 7 fluid ounces is 3/4 of a cup, right? This might be making more pancakes than I need. You ever, like, you guys, when I make pancakes, it gets a bit ridiculous, right? Because it's like, okay, I added too much water. Now I have to add more powder. Oh, I added too much powder. I have to add more water. Oh, too much water. Add more powder. And then all of a sudden you have 105 fucking pancakes. That's my life. Um, and I'm wearing about 50 of those on my shirt right now. And then, where are... I have a fork somewhere. I don't know where it went at the moment. It might actually be in my van. So I'm gonna mix it with a plastic spoon. You have a fridge now, you can save the batter. I do have a fridge now. I can save the batter. And I even have Ziploc bags I could put the batter in order to save it. Mix in a baggie. Yeah, probably should have, but I got this bowl here. I can't wait to clean it. That'll be fun. I do need to go get water tomorrow in order to do some dishes, but I might have added too much water. I might have done exactly what I was talking about. But let's get this good and mixed up. That fridge, Liberated, just asked how my fridge is working out. It's pretty awesome, dude. So I got that fridge, and I got my batteries. And the batteries were at 12.8 volts. Which, they're 12-volt batteries. They go up to like 13.2 or whatever. Right about there. But they were at 12.8, which isn't... Like, it's about 50%, maybe more. Maybe like 80% charged. That fridge has been running for 4 days now, and they're at 12.5. I did take one day and put the panels on and go park in the sun, and that was yesterday. And yeah, they're at 12.5. So I'm pretty pleased with that fridge. I'm pretty pleased with my solar. I do need to improve how the solar is wired a little bit. But I didn't have everything that I needed, and I got some stuff I didn't need. So I also have to wire in my DC to DC charger, courtesy of Chuck. Big shout out to Chuck. Thanks, dude. But yeah, I need a couple of more things. Like, I can't make big battery connectors on the big battery cables. I can't put connectors on those. I don't have the tools for that. So little things like that. And then I need to get a and L fuse for my inverter. Yeah, I need to add more powder to this. That's a little bit ridiculous. I'm just trying to make water over here. The thin batter, add another egg. I think you can make crepes. Creppies. You can make some creppies. Let me add some of this powder to it and see how that does. I knew I shouldn't have put the powder away. And you guys, like, I'm not much of a cook. Is that how you make crepes? You add water to this? Or, I mean, an egg? I am going to have eggs. I'm going to make them scrambled eggs, but I'm going to have eggs. If anyone else wants to throw, like, this was sent to me by Annie, this pancake mix. If anyone else wants to chip in on food for me, I've got some food on my wish list. You can also add anything to my wish list and send it to me, whether it's food or clothes or food for Zag. Food for Zag, I think that's the last thing I added onto there. You can definitely send that. I am not out of food for Zag, but running a little bit low. I think I need to add some more powder to this. I think I added too much water. Yeah, a cup of flour, 2 eggs, and says a cup of milk, but water would be fine because it's all you need to add to this batter. Yeah, you don't need to add milk to this batter. Yeah, that's too runny, isn't it? That's not batter. That's freaking soup. That's soup. Let's add it some more. I'm gonna have 85 pancakes here once I get the batter right. I was gonna make some eggs and sausage with this, but now I might just eat a bunch of pancakes and sausage. Might skip the eggs. Save them for another day. Yeah, this is thickening up. There we go. It's becoming more pancake battery. I don't know why traveling has been so successful with my PTSD. I think it's because, like, I don't get bored, right? If I get bored, I can just go somewhere else, you know? I don't know what tomorrow is going to be like. I have no idea what tomorrow is going to be like because not every day is identical, which was kind of like how my life was. It was kind of running on a treadmill. Every day was the same. I knew what was going to happen because it happened yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. Every day was kind of on repeat, like Groundhog's Day. And I just felt like I was running in place. And now it's not like that. Now my days are, you never know who you're going to meet, what you're going to see, what's around that next bend, what's around that corner, what's down that trail. Oh, look at that dirt road. I wonder what's down there. Well, most of the time you can go down there unless it requires four-wheel drive. And even some of you would be able to do that because you got four-wheel drive. I'm beginning to get the munchies. Puff puff pass. You know what else I use this pancake mix for, you guys? I have battered chicken with it and fried my chicken before. That's good. Just put a bunch of oil in the pan, dip your chicken in this stuff, and then fry it. Don't mix it with water. You dip it in an egg, dip it in the powder, dip it back into the egg, throw it into the pan with oil in it. Oh, it's so good. The way Hardee's does it. Okay. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh, I got a Cashapp. Let's see. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Tina, for that Cashapp. I appreciate that. I appreciate all your guys' donations. You ain't gotta be a baller to donate $1. Yeah, that's better. I think that's better. I'm definitely gonna have leftovers batter. I might even, man, might even need to be a little thicker too. Like, what do you guys think? Is that too runny for pancake batter? Tastes like chicken and waffles. Exactly. Exactly. It's like pigs in a blanket with chicken and waffles instead. You just wrap in a blanket of waffles. That's it. That is it. It is actually pretty fire. But yeah, the solar's running pretty good. I need to fix the wiring situation. It's like not the prettiest, not kind of tucked away. I would like to tuck it all away a little bit better. So I'm gonna be working on that hopefully this weekend. Where am I? What's up, Darren? Let me show you where I am. Right now I'm in a tent. But I'll show you all where I'm at. And I know that my live stream is vertical this time. It's not normal for me to do live streams like this, but I set it up wrong. And after you set it up, you can't really fix it. I didn't know that I did until I hit go live. But yeah, I'm at this lake right here. It's really pretty here. Today it's been kind of cold and rainy. But suddenly the sun comes out at the end of the day, and I know you guys probably can't see it, but there is a mountain up there in those clouds. Right up there, you see it. You can see the bottom of the mountain, but it goes up there, and that's the ski resort. It's really beautiful here. I like it. Those big pine cones in the trees. No, not here. Doesn't have those big pine cones here. That's more of a Northern California thing, honestly, in like the redwoods. You can find those in like Southern Oregon, Northern California. I mean, now let me get this back set up so you guys can see me and it doesn't fall. There we go. When will I be back from the next gig? At the end of the month. I'll be back at the end of the month. I'll be back before August, I think. Um, I'm only going for less than 2 weeks, like 10 days or something like that. So, time for cooking. Time for the cooking. Yeah, those big pine cones are pretty sick. I'd like to get some and dip them in some, like, whatever you'd call it, like resin or epoxy. And, well, let me put this away. And then you can preserve them that way. You'll just take your time. Yeah, that's cool. Our mutual friends in Eros is also here too. They just got here last night, but they're leaving tomorrow to a different spot. It's too cold for them up here. It has been pretty chilly though. Yesterday was pretty hot actually. Yesterday was hot. And then all of a sudden today it's like 50 degrees. And that was the high. So it's been kind of chilly up here today. Yeah, your friends do that and make pendants with them with those big pine cones. I know your friends. I've seen them things. I've seen that pine cone art. I forget the name of their booth, but yeah, I've seen them at the festivals we've been to. Alright, you guys. I would do Uncle Buck pancakes if I had enough space, but I just don't have enough space. Say hi to the bus hippies. I will say hi to them. Pendants with all of it, or no, they cut it into basically slices. So if you picture a pine cone the long way, and they cut it in slices and put it in resin, add some art to it, it's pretty sick. You can look up pine cone pendants. Third eye pin one. All right. All right. Is that too hot? That might actually be too hot. There you go. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna have like 85 pancakes here with the size I have to make these with the pan that I have. Yep. 85 pancakes. But I do still have cold cheese and cold sodas. I mean, that's the bee's knees if you ask me. That's the bee's knees. I have cold stuff that the sun made cold for me. That's quite amazing. Sorry, I'm just trying to organize my table here. And I don't have a lot of room to work with. I got a small table. Cold pancakes tomorrow. Yeah, I actually have some Ziploc bags I'll probably put this stuff in. And like just put the batter straight into the bag. And then tomorrow just use the batter out of the bag. You could like cut the corner of the bag and just squeeze it out of the Ziploc bag. Um, Somebody asked me earlier, I didn't really catch up on all the comments, but somebody asked me earlier how many times were they bombs? Because I explained that my job overseas was to drive over everything that looked like a bomb. And I kind of skipped that question, but I'll come back to it. Um, I can talk about the first time I got blown up. And it wasn't even me that got blown up. This award right here is the Combat Infantryman's Badge. And it gets awarded to you when you get attacked by the enemy, directly or indirectly, and then you return fire. That's the stipulations for getting the award. And yeah, the first time it was the truck behind us that got hit, and we were just close enough to it that they gave us the award, which I kind of was like, meh. I wasn't too happy about what I got the award for, but later in the deployment, I felt like I earned it. So there was 4 IEDs on the truck, and um, the worst part I think about my PTSD in particular is like what really fucks with my head, if I'm being completely honest with you, isn't things you see. It's maybe not even the things you did, sort of. It's not the awful things you did. It was celebrating the awful things you did, right? Like, you were celebrating these, like, being evil. And I don't know how else to describe it, because that's kind of how it feels. Like, I don't know how many times I've said this, but I wish I could have fought Nazis instead of farmers. But I wasn't around during the Nazis. I fought farmers, and then I celebrated fighting farmers, and that fucks with me. That messes with my head quite a bit. Um, like I wish I could have fought Nazis instead. That seems like a better fight. I don't think I got a good one. And I've heard some of my fellow veterans say, I'm proud of my service or whatever, and I honestly struggle with that part, to be proud of my service. I honestly, genuinely, and I'm sorry if this ruffles feathers out there because of, you guys being veterans or patriotic or whatever, but I'm not so proud of my service because of how I was used. I wasn't used like one pancake done. First pancake done. I wasn't used like previous wars. It wasn't. Uh, it wasn't a government I was fighting. It wasn't some dictatorship, and it wasn't some. It was farmers fighting for their property and their home and their families. Some of them were just getting paid to feed themselves. They didn't care about the politics or the United States or Al Qaeda. They only got paid, and it was either, you can get paid to put this bomb in the road and feed your family for a month. People would take that shit because they're poor. But that's who I was fighting. Hungry people trying to feed their families. And farmers. Well, the people at the very top were hiding behind boxes and shit. And bunkers. And behind video cameras and press conferences. On both sides. On both sides. It's not just the United States. It's both sides that do this. All of us poor folk and all of the farmers over there just decided to fight each other. That's the part I struggle with. Isn't that I did awful things because, that was my job. My problem that I've struggled with the most is celebrating those things. First pancake done. I don't know if I'll be able to wait. So, like, you can go back to a live stream I did in Quartzsite a couple years ago. We were in an outdoor bar, right? It was real busy. Music playing. I was hanging out with some of my friends. And if you watch that live stream again, I chain smoked the whole thing. Just straight chain smoked the whole fucking thing. And why did I do that? Because I was surrounded by people and loud noises. And, everyone's behind me and surrounding me. And I was, very claustrophobic. And, and it was stressful. Like, I don't do well when people get real close to my space, because overseas you get to control who's in your space, and then when you come home, you can't control that. I'm in line at the grocery store, and I'm standing sideways with the aisles like this while we're waiting to check out because I don't want anyone behind me. I'd rather the candy be behind me. I don't want somebody breathing down my neck. It makes my fucking skin crawl. I can't take it. I just want to turn around and smack them, get the fuck away from me. But that's not fair either. We live in a society where people sometimes stand near you, and that's okay. But it makes me stressed out. So I stand sideways, so you can't get behind me. I stand sideways. Um, I don't know how else to explain that. That's all I got to say about that. I think I'm just feeling away because uh, recently we just had one of our soldiers I served with. He passed away, and they just had his service. And I think that has made me like starting to think a lot about it. Cause I saw a lot of the guys I served with. We haven't seen each other in a long time. It seems like the only times we get together anymore are for funerals. Whenever somebody you know goes, that's the only time we see each other. Like, it's not like the movies where they tell you you'll be friends forever. You'll have a bond, and it's true. You do have a bond. It's called trauma bonding. It's not exactly healthy, and I think we all know that, so we don't really hang out with each other. But uh, it's been having me. It's been making me feel a certain way lately. Um, Coupled with maybe being out of weed and not sleeping well. This is my last. I've got a few roaches. This is my last joint right here, and I kind of got this halfer right here, and then a bunch of roaches I can put into my bowl. So my stress level's been a little high lately too. I've been trying to conserve my weed, smoking less of it. Oh yeah, second pancake's almost done. And I didn't eat the first one. That's impressive. I'm pretty hungry right now. You guys want to hear a story about me trying to cook last night? Alicia, if you're watching, you already know this story. But last night, it was kind of late. Kind of like today, I didn't have a whole lot of executive function. So I sorry. I got up and decided to make some food. It was like 7 at night. And I turned on the burner, the one I'm using right now. And it sputtered out real quickly. Like I couldn't even have burned myself on it before it ran out of fuel. And I was out of gas, so I had to drive all the way into town. And I went to 3 places before I found a greenie. Greenie being those little green propane tanks. We call them greenies. It took me 3 stores to find them, and I finally got back here and I was cooking at like 9 o'clock with flashlights and shit. But I ate a good meal. Just took me forever to eat that meal. Okay, so raw, whatever will be, will be. Alright, 2 pancakes down. Then I gotta make some sausage, you guys. That'll be the next thing that I'm cooking with this. Is some sausage. Do you like the sausage? I like some sausage. Would you pick sausage or bacon? Sausage? I like sausage more. You can do so much more with sausage. Bacon is just bacon. Oh, but this bacon is cut thicker. Oh, this bacon has pepper on it. Dude, go look at all the sausages that there are and then compare that to bacon. Not that I'm like dogging bacon, but sausage is better than bacon. It just is. Like sausage goes with everything. Goes with everything. It's better. I'll fight you. I will. All right. Bacon pancakes, bacon pancakes. Okay, I do. You could put sausage pancakes, but bacon pancakes is good too. After I cook this pancake, I'm gonna cook some sausage, as a matter of fact, and then we'll have sausage pancakes, sausage pancakes stacked, and then I'm gonna get fat because I'm gonna also put this maple on it that someone at Annie sent me. One of you amazing folks. Well, I almost dropped it into the camera. Uh huh. Mm hmm. Yeah. Yep. Who's got maple syrup? Zig does. I can't read the nutrition facts because there's like a weird sticker over it, but I'm pretty sure this is like real maple. 100% pure Vermont Bernie Sanders socialist maple. Like kind of literally, except the government didn't give it to me, but it was donated. It's kind of socialist, you know? Okay, anybody watching anything good right now? What are you watching? Mix up sausage gravy and Ziploc over anything almost. That's not a bad idea, actually. But I don't have gravy mix. Like I said earlier, I did apply for food stamps. I'm waiting to hear back from them. Um, haven't heard back from them in a minute. And they're just waiting to confirm all my income documents because I had to confirm my income with them, which is a whopping $1,000 a month. And we'll see what they say. I did put the campground as $24 a day, which it is, along with, propane costs and diesel costs to heat the van. It ends up adding up. So with all my utilities, I don't have enough money for food, and that's how I had to do it in order to get food stamps. So we'll see what they give me. Still waiting on a response from them. Haven't heard. And I guess they got 30 days. Like they can leave me out here hungry for 30 days. Should have done this in California. California was like in and out, and I had food stamps. All right, I'm lighting it. You'll get max $289 a month. I don't think that's max in Oregon, is it? Is it? Because that would be nice, actually. That's like the max in California was 198 is how much I was getting down there. But that's like $100 more. Washington is in and out too. I've been in and out here in Oregon before, but this time, I don't know. I had to email my documents to them because I only had digital copies of it. And I'm waiting for them to process it, and they process it in the order in which it came. So, I guess I'm just lucky. Okay, 3 pancakes? Is that enough? Should I do 4? Should I do 4 pancakes? I don't know. Yeah, my income went up, cut me down to 23. That sucks. I would take higher income over higher food stamps, though, if I'm being honest. Which is another frustrating part. We were talking about executive function. In order to get my disability raised, which I think it should be raised, I'm not a doctor, but I know some guys that went through a lot less than I did, who got higher ratings than I did. But I think I'm gonna make one more pancake. But that's another thing. In order to get my disability raised, I don't have the executive function for that. It's exhausting. It's stressful to walk into the VA and go through all that red tape and that process, and it's just like completely overwhelming. And I don't always have that shit in me, man. Some days it's hard enough to get out of bed, but they also want me to jump through all these hoops that I don't understand because it's the government and they make shit all fucking weird and complicated, unnecessarily complicated. And then the way you think it is isn't the way it is. Plus, they're completely inefficient. Do you know one time I had an appointment for the VA, and I didn't even fucking know it until they sent me a letter saying, hey, appointment reminder, you have an appointment. And the appointment for the reminder they sent me was a week before the reminder showed up. Like, I had already missed the appointment that I didn't even know I had, but I got a reminder for it. You know what happens when you miss appointments with the VA? It makes it real hard to get another appointment. It's not like getting blacklisted, but they do mark that in, like, oh, missed appointment, missed appointment. So, makes it harder to get another appointment. They're going to put you further down the list um, because you've missed appointments, even though you didn't even know you had the appointment. Oh, but they sent you a letter. It didn't show up in time. Like, you snail mail it. One time I went to the VA to see about getting my disability raised. And they were like, yeah, just fill out this paperwork. And I was like, hey, right here, it says you need an address and it's required to fill out. And I'm like, I don't have an address. And he's like, well, how are we supposed to get a hold of you? And I was like, you can email me. It's 2020, like it's the 21st century. You can email me. And they were like, yeah, we don't email. We only use the snail mail to communicate with. So I'm like, so if I don't have an address, I can't get my benefits. And they were like, correct. You have to have an address. Homeless veterans have to basically find an address to use in order to get their benefits. That's a true story. Nutella and pancakes. What about my PERS account? I'm requesting that. Actually, it's funny you ask. I just printed out all the documents filled out. I need to go get my the documents notarized while I sign it, and then mail them off to the state, which that could take 3-4 months for them to process and send me my money. That could take a long time. That's not going to be a quick fix type of shit. But I'm using that to get a different vehicle. I'm already planning this. I'm using that money when it shows up to get a different vehicle than the van. The van's not enough. It's not big enough. It's going to work temporarily, but man, it's not enough, man. It's not big enough. I need more. I'm not comfortable in it, you know. I am so happy to have it over a tent. I am so happy that I've got that instead of me, you know, with a backpack, which is what I was doing after the van again. Which I think I've named my van, you guys, Minivan again. Minivan again. Because I did have a minivan before, and now I have a minivan again. So why the fuck not? Anyways, I'm gonna get a bigger. I'm thinking a short school bus. To be honest with you, I'm thinking a short school bus. But right now, that's down the road. I don't even know how I'm gonna make it through the month, if I'm being completely honest. So any and all donations are really grateful, really appreciated. Took less than 5 weeks to process yours. Yeah, that's what you were saying last time. I know that you know, some cases are pretty quick, and mine probably will be very quick. I'm not rolling it over or anything like that. I'm just pulling it out, and I'm not even having them do the tax stuff. Hard to work on, no schoolie. Yeah, then don't get one. But I'm definitely, I think that's what I'm gonna get, is a school bus. They're not that hard to work on if it's a short bus. It's a van chassis. It's a van. It's just like working on a van. Not like I'm getting a full size. Yeah, last pancake is done. What you all think of that ute? Yeah. Okay. And then time for the sausage. And fun fact, this is maple sausage also. Turn that fire down. But I can tell you right now, I need more room than a full-size van. I don't need more room, but I wouldn't be comfortable in a full-size van either, because you can't stand up. And I got back issues, I'm getting older, and I need to be able to stand up. I know that about myself. And I'm going to be slow cooking these sausages. In fact, I'll be right back. Yeah. I needed a lid. Them MRE meals is not as bad. The new kind. I've had a couple of the new ones actually. Right now, well, maybe not new now, but as I was getting out, they released a whole bunch of new MREs, and they were pretty good. I tried them once there and got a few boxes. They're not bad. I would take MREs, honestly. I roll around in a stool on my van. Yeah, I don't have enough room for even that. I traveled with Magazine, a Rainbow Family, and the shell shock is real. Yeah, going from the military to traveling is definitely an adjustment. I would try catching a fish there and fry it up. There's this lake that I'm at is only fly fishing. I have to drive farther down the road to get to anywhere I can bait fish, and I have to go probably 30 minutes down the road to the really good fishing. I showed you guys last year when I was up here that fishing spot. It's like 30 minutes down the road. It's also one of my favorite camp spots, but there's no signal there, so I couldn't like stay connected to anyone. Plus, I don't have the gas. I don't have the gas to be just going back and forth willy-nilly. I'm going to be going into town here in the next couple of days and packing all this shit up into my van somehow. I'm out of room. However, I'm going to be packing this all into the van and probably going to not be able to drive around a whole lot for the rest of the month. Hi, I'm Pearl. I've lived in the slabs 4 years. I knew Gravedigger Joe. Thank you for what you did to catch Spider. Yeah, you're very welcome. I don't recognize your name, but yeah. Traveling with others harsh if there's nobody in command. Yeah, too many Indians and not enough chiefs. I've seen that before. Y'all don't forget to smash that like button. And if you do like my videos or you want to support me, you could become a monthly subscriber. The subscriptions are pretty cheap. Doesn't cost you very much. Less than the price of a Starbucks coffee. You could be a monthly subscriber. You'd be one of my road dogs. That's what we're calling them. But you just hit the join button on my profile and boom, you're off to the races. Or you can just send me Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal. You can go to my wish list. My link tree is in the description of this video, so you can go to my link tree and find all this stuff. Food would be a great thing to send me on Amazon right now, honestly. Dog food, people food. Those would be choice useful at the moment. And also just gas money. Like a gallon of gas is less than $5, so. Where's your flight to Boston? Yeah, I'm going to Boston, getting flown out there for work to meet up with Alicia. We're going to do an event. Then I'll be coming back, bringing Zag with me on the flight. It's another thing I need to get is a pet carrier for Zag for the flight. I didn't use one last time because she's a service dog, and they can't really make you put your service dog in like what she needs to do her job. She can't do it from a crate. But her job is also at nighttime, so she doesn't really need to be doing her job on the flight. But anyways, they can't have you crate her, but I just want to not deal with the hassle. You know what I mean, Vern? You know what I mean, Vern? What you doing in Boston? Yeah, I just said I'm working a flight, or I'm working a flight. I'm working an event with Alicia in Boston. There's a festival that we're gonna be vending at. So I'll be live streaming from the East Coast here soon, and then back again on the West Coast. Should have good signal where I'm at. What's up, Rob? Rob Fox. How you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Right now I'm just cooking some food. We've been talking my combat experience. We've been talking PTSD today. I made pancakes. Got a lot of batter left over. So I'm thinking I'll try to save the batter into a Ziploc bag. And then I could just cut the corner of the Ziploc bag and squeeze the batter out tomorrow. You know what I mean, Vern? Right now I'm just cooking a bunch of sausage. And it's kind of slow going because I've got it cooking slow. I don't want to burn it. And it means that I get to hang out with you guys longer because when I'm done cooking, I'm getting off of the live stream. Does anyone out there, any of you have that wanderlust? You know what I mean? Like, you just want to hit the road and take off, but you can't for whatever reason. Like, everyone's got anchors of some kind that keeps them where they're at, keeps them from really scratching that wanderlust that they have. But are any of you in that situation? What are your anchors? Is it house, your kids, your job? Like, what are the anchors keeping you from taking off? Even though you have that wanderlust and you know you want to, like, what's keeping you from it? Like, let me know. For me, I got back from Iraq. My dad died. Like right after, not right after, it was like a year and a half after I got back from Iraq. My dad died. So I had lost my marriage, I had lost my daughter, I had lost my dad. And I couldn't honestly see why I was still doing the rat race. Like, I had lost all motivation for the rat race, the society we've built, going to my job every day. For what? So I could just pay for this house that I'm living in by myself. This 3-bedroom fucking house that I'm basically working so I can hang out in it at nighttime. I don't see the point. I couldn't understand anymore. I had lost all that motivation. It was just gone. Sometimes I wonder what my life would be like if I still had that motivation that I had before. Because, like, I went to college, y'all. Like, military paid for it. I went to college. I owned a home. I didn't get here on accident. I started traveling on purpose. I didn't know it was going to last this long, if we're being completely honest. I thought I'd be gone for like a year or two, and then I would use my retirement money to get back into an apartment. Now, back when I left, that would have been enough money. That would have been enough money to get into an apartment. But now, it's not. Like, the amount of money that I have, it's not enough to get in an apartment. I couldn't get into an apartment right now if I wanted to. First, last deposit, no fucking way. Dude, not with the amount of how they are. That's like $7,000 for some places. For low income places, $5,000 for some. Had you not said your struggle, I'd have a reason. I don't have a good reason to stay. I've never afforded rent. It's fucking hard out there, man. Rent's getting higher and higher and higher. The cost of food is too. Like, think about it. When was the last time y'all went to the store and you spent $100? Just like ran to the store and spent $100 yesterday. How often do you do that? Think about it. Like, going to the store, I spent $100. You know, how many days of food is that? I can only do that 10 times. That's not even 2 weeks. I could only run to the store and get $100 in food 10 times in a month. Which right now, $100 in food is what, 3 to 4 days of food? Maybe. Not even like good food either. It's not healthy food, just food, but Like I'm making right now, egg sausage, like just add water pancakes. Pretty excited about those actually. Um, Sharon, it's her kids. 100 in food lasts me like 3 days. Yeah, 100 in food, 3 days. So I basically have enough money for food for the month. I've spent $100 once. I dumpster dove cases of frozen ribs. Yeah, that's awesome. The American food industry is quite wasteful. There's plenty of good food out there, and it doesn't have to cost as much as it does. But we throw everything away, then make it illegal to go get. Making dumpster diving illegal is as stupid as making collecting rainwater illegal. I might have to make another pancake. Yeah, I've been looking up the food banks. There's one this weekend here in Bend, and I think one tomorrow. Or maybe it was today. I don't remember. But I'll probably have to do that. It's also a matter of gas to get to them, and I'm running low on gas too. Yeah, now bread's $5 a loaf. $5 a loaf for bread. That is wild. And you know what? It's not the food prices going up, you guys. It's the amount of money that you're making is going down. Along with the value of the dollar is going down. That's why prices go up. The value of the dollar is just tanking right now. You can look it up. Like, currencies have values. People trade in currencies like they do stocks. You know, because today the value between US and pesos is this much, but tomorrow pesos will be worth more. So if you get pesos today and then tomorrow sell them, you just made money. Put them back into US dollars, you made money. US dollars going down. You can look. Man, those pancakes are fire. Annie, good choice. I think those are on my wish list. I don't know if she picked them or I did, but they're good. No regrets. Random Phantom says, when I did the rainbow thing, we stopped at like 4 homeless shelters and talked them out of a 50-gallon barrel of beans, sugar, and coffee bean. That's cool. I do be liking my coffee. That shit's important. Sharon, there's a sheet of paper from welfare that tells you where the foot lockers are. I don't know what you're talking about. Are these done yet? Jesus Christ. Oh, they might actually be done. Yeah. Alright, they're done. Those are done. I need to make one more pancake, because I ate one. I might not have any pancake mix left over when I'm done with this. I can hear people talking nearby. It's kind of a busier lake. Yeah, buddy. Zag's definitely gonna have some pancakes and sausage today. I might cook some coffee before bed too. Now that I got some propane, I feel like I got. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have any leftovers. Just gonna have some dishes. That's okay. Yeah, dude, these pancakes are good. No regrets. It was just that water, man. Choice. Red Mill is fire. The shelters have extra. Closed mouth, don't get fed. Yeah, I'm here opening my mouth, aren't I? But like I said, I'm gonna be going to the food boxes this weekend. Taos, New Mexico has a huge off-grid homeless art society that are Elder Rainbow fam. Yeah, my property is right outside of Taos and Tres Piedras. Taos is very hippie for sure. It's just high in elevation, and that makes me nervous because last time I was there, I had a heart attack. Had a lot of stress at the time too, but no job, but you travel. No, I definitely have a job too. I definitely hustle, man. I work. I don't have a full-time job like you do, but I do gigs when I can. If you're new to my channel, yeah, you'll see. Like I just did a couple of festivals, but I also have an income like without doing those things. I get $1,000 a month from the VA because I'm a disabled veteran. So, hey, welcome to the channel, Patrick. Um, do you travel or do you have a job? Seems like that's either you have a job or you travel. But some people can mix the two, right? They can figure out how to do both, which is what I've kind of done. Trace Piedras. Yeah, Trace Piedras. I know the guy who lives at the top of Taos Gorge. Nice. Yeah, I live out on the mesa, but not in that neighborhood that you're thinking of. I live closer to the my property is closer to the Chili line. Yeah, Alicia, my job is traveling. You're on SSDI. Fuck yeah. You miss Zach from Slab City. Hey, you knew Zach? Well, I've got his ashes in this tattoo right here. That one on my thumb. Zach's ashes are in it, and Zach's brother did the tattoo. So yeah, I miss Zach also. Zach was good people. You owe that dude a favor. That's funny. In fact, I got this tattoo on live stream. Um, and Zach's brother did it. Did the tattoo. Zach was a good kid. He became a good kid. He didn't start out a good kid, but he became a good kid. Miss that kid too. Alright, you guys. I got a pile of pancakes here, a pile of sausage, a date with this maple syrup right here, and I think that that's going to call the live stream a night. Appreciate you guys being here. You had me for like an hour and a half. Good conversation. If you're watching this later, appreciate your view. If you want to donate, feel free. My links are in the description of this video. You can go to my link tree. You can there's several ways to do it: PayPal, Venmo, Cashapp. I've even got a tip jar if you don't want to download any of that stuff, but you have a debit card. So cheers. Until next time, everyone. Who's gonna say it first? What is it I say? What is it? What's up? Nobody? All right, fine. I'll say it. Miles of Smiles.